Spooky!
Boo!
Spooky! What's up, people out there? I'm Troy to the Max Extreme.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave.
And we are the spookiest internet channel out there, IMPERIUS REX.
That's right. I like how you tied it in with the spookiness that's happening right here in the studio.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
So, yep, we're kicking off the month of October, my favorite month, Halloween,
That's
good
right.
times.
Yeah.
And we're kicking it off with some Oktoberfest,
Yep.
German-style Marzen.
Get those nice malty notes.
A hint of pumpkin. I don't like pumpkin. This will be fun. Alright. So, yep, we're kicking off our look at some bat scares throughout the Batman history with a couple favorites of ours.
Yes.
Today we're going to be focusing on none other than Batman Vampire.
That's right. The three-parter that came out over several years.
Yep.
By Kelly Jones and Doug Mensch.
That's right.
Part
Part of the Elseworlds line from DC.
Yeah.
That whole thing where they're like, fuck it, do whatever you want.
And they did.
That's right. They go there. So stick with us as we sink our teeth into Batman a Vampire.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Vampire, a three-part tale set in the DC Elseworlds continuity. The first, Batman and Dracula, Red Rain, published in 91. The second, the follow-up, Bloodstorm, in 94. And the third and final, Crimson Mist, in 98. And every one of these was only planning on being one book. And then they just kept adding them on because they were very well received.
Yeah.
With good reason, because they're a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun.
They are so much better than they have any right to be.
Yeah, they are.
I think even the artist, Kelly Jones, said when someone pitched him the idea, he was like, that sounds dumb. And then he read the script, and he was like, actually, I'm on board. That sounds great. Let's do it!
Yeah, very much so. Like, my favorite part, I think, is part one. Because that's when Kelly Jones is really top-notch in his art game. And he does a very exaggerated Batman. He's got the very long and pointy Batman with the bedsheet cape. His arms are as long as that guy who falls out the window at the end of RoboCop.
Yes.
That's how it is. This is one of the very first Batman stories that I actually picked up when I was re-getting into comics again.
Me too.
And
Did I give it to you?
You let me borrow it.
Okay, yeah.
And then I immediately went out and bought it because I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I love everything about this.
Yeah. So the story kicks off with Dracula coming to Gotham.
Yes.
So he's picking off homeless people and streetwalkers left and right.
Yep.
Police are baffled because they find these bodies drained of blood, but with gaping, like scratches. It's Dracula's way of covering it up rather than leaving two puncture marks.
Right,
he just tears that whole throat out. Just gives it a drag. So Batman's on the case, and he's like, vampires, psh.
Vampires schmampires.
Yeah, no such thing.
Yeah.
Well, Batman, you're wrong.
Yeah, you dumb idiot. Of course there's vampires out there.
Yep.
I also like, once he figures out there's something more occultish going on out there, that he has, like, a expert on the matter.
This little, like, old Angela Lansbury woman. That lives in a library.
I like that a lot, that he's just not knowledgeable about everything. And he's like, I have an expert who I can ask about this. And she goes in, just gives Batman shit.
Yeah.
Anytime he goes in there.
Yep.
He's like, what? Are vampires real? I don't know. Maybe they're real. Yeah, here's some mumbo jumbo I know about the occult. Now get the fuck out of my
Close
house.
the window on your way
I
out.
thought I felt a stinky breeze as you came in here.
Yeah, is she a character in Bat Canon?
I don't know.
I've never seen her before. When I first read it, I assumed like, oh, it's one of Batman's friends.
Yeah.
But I've never seen her in anything else.
Me neither.
I didn't write down her name, but she comes in to play in every one of these books,
Yeah.
and she's great.
Yep.
She's a delight.
Yep.
She's like one of those wily old women that
Yeah.
isn't afraid to give Batman his due.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So he meets up with her, and I like that you mentioned like Batman knows everything, but he would not waste his time with the supernatural.
Right.
He's a very literal guy.
Yeah.
So he scientifically, I got it under control.
Yeah.
This other bullshit, it's for the birds.
Yeah.
Throughout the book, Batman is plagued with nightmares.
Yeah.
Where he's visited by this ethereal woman.
Yeah.
Who comes to him in a mist.
Yes.
And ravages his body. Her name is Tanya.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to determine whether or not they were dreams, if any of them were dreams, or if they were actually happening to him, because eventually she turns him into a vampire.
Yeah.
From one of their nightly visits.
It seems like he's dreaming when it's first happening, but I'm fairly certain like that she was actually coming and slowly turning him into a vampire every single time.
Yeah, because he's like his body's transforming. He's getting stronger. He goes to open the door of his car and he rips the door handle off. Then he grows wings. So it's a little gradual changes.
Yeah.
But Tanya is basically a rebel against Dracula, and she's enlisted Batman's aid in stopping Dracula, cleaning out the vampire population before it can take over Gotham and then the world.
That's right.
Spooky. It's weird she never asks him if he's okay with it.
Yeah. She's like, I've pretty much volunteered you into this little crusade I'm on. Tough shit.
By the way, you're a vampire now. It sucks.
But when she first turns him, though, he's not, he's like Blade, almost.
He is.
He's like a vampire,
Daywalker.
but none of the weaknesses.
Yeah, he's pretty good. There's a great showdown in the sewers of Gotham where the team of Tanya and her crew go to fight the vampires, and Batman is basically cornered.
Yeah.
And he manages to like get his back up against the wall, and there's some sunlight coming through, stopping Dracula from getting him.
Yeah.
And Batman's also injured, so he takes his blood and paints a cross on the wall, and he's like, come get it. Love that.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
a great panel.
Yes.
Yeah. Another great panel, and then I've tried to draw this like 100 times, is like when he finally does get his wings, and it's like flapping from underneath his huge cape. And
cape is just billowing behind it.
Yeah, it's such an awesome image.
He ends up having to detonate Wayne Manor because Tanya and her crew have led the vampires to this
like a big trap. Yeah.
And they blow the whole thing up. The sunlight comes down, kills them all. But Wayne Manor and Batcave, gone.
Yeah.
Tanya, gone.
Yeah.
And Batman is able to kill Dracula, but he is bitten by Dracula himself.
Yep.
So now he's cursed with Dracula's insatiable bloodlust.
Yes.
So not only is a vampire, now he's like a super vampire.
Right.
He's got it real bad.
Yep. There's a few parts in this where I really enjoy, before we jump onto like part 2.
Yeah.
That I love the Batmobile in this because it looks like such a cartoony little buggy. And it's like the one panel you really see him only using it. It's like cartoonishly flying over this little cobblestone hill.
It looks like Herbie.
Yeah, it really does.
It like the grill looks like a smile with the headlight eyes.
Yeah.
It is so out of place in this book.
It's like, because, everything is like really gothic and cobblestoney and made of wood and buttresses and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then you have this weird little car which looks like it shouldn't even exist in this period of time. And it doesn't even have like a top on it. It's a convertible. And Batman's just in that little thing driving. And then another thing I like too is when he finally goes to suit up, his batsuit's just in a wardrobe closet. Like, it's the only thing in there. It's not locked or anything. It's like, out of all the things that Batman could put it in, like a big glass case or a big sealed vault, it's just a wooden wardrobe.
At least it's not like folded up in a drawer.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The bat boots like balled up like socks.
The overall tone of the of this trilogy, but the first part especially, with the art and writing duties, it makes it feel like it's a a real horror book, but it made me feel like Swamp Thing again.
Yeah, it is. It's very similar to Swamp Thing.
Yeah, and it made me have the itch to reread that again, and I'm like,
Speaking
I don't have
my
any
language,
time.
man.
I know we want to reread it soon, but like it gave me a real itch.
Yeah.
It made me. This is the exact same feeling I got reading that.
Yeah, it's a great gothic, and it's something that, like, it fits Batman so well. How has there never been, like, a Batman vampire story before this?
I don't know.
Maybe because they're too similar? It's like, no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it fits and works so well in this book.
Yeah.
So that takes us into the second, the sequel, made 3 years later, Bloodstorm.
Perfect 90s name.
Yeah. Rob Liefeld co-write this. So this one is interesting because it brings in more of Batman's rogues gallery.
Yeah.
So it kind of, the main antagonist of this is Joker.
Yeah.
And he is rounding up the vampires to kind of create his own, like, vampire mafia.
Yeah, yeah.
That he's taking control of Gotham with.
Somehow he finds out that they don't have, like, a real leader, and he's like, I can lead these schmucks.
Yeah.
And he does. Like, he persuades him into doing it just by, like, coming in with, like, a garlic necklace and a cross or whatever.
I really like the design of Joker in this.
But it varies throughout the issue. Did you notice that? Like,
Yes.
I want to know what...
I think there's a lot of photo reference in this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of his expressions are so bizarre that you're like, that had to have been, like, various people that he's drawing from.
Yeah, and I want to know those references. That's exactly one of my notes. Is like, he varies from panel to panel here or there, and then some you can tell where there's no reference used, and it looks like the classic kind of Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, I got kind of like a weird Alex from Clockwork Orange type of persona from him.
Yeah.
He's like this gang leader who's just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna go commit some crimes.
Yeah.
Maybe do some rapes. What are you up for, boys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Batman is being overtaken by the thirst. He's
Yeah.
now cursed with Dracula's thirst.
Yeah.
And he's trying to stay on the straight and narrow, but he's fearing that he's going to be overtaken by it.
Because when Tanya died, she had this, like, she supplemented her hunger with that synthetic formula or whatever.
Serum.
Yeah, the serum. And now that she's dead, and Batman's trying to perfect it, but, like, she had hundreds of years to perfect it, where he's trying to do it in, like, an afternoon.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't do it. This shit sucks. Just, like, tears it all down.
Yeah.
But, like, it never really quenches his bloodlust.
Nope. Until he meets another kindred soul.
Yeah.
Selena Kyle, the Catwoman.
Yes.
As she has a run-in with one of Joker's vampire lieutenants.
Yes.
Who transforms into a werewolf type of thing.
Right.
And bites her. She escapes, and now she is, like, part Catwoman.
Yes.
So under the full moon, like a werewolf, she turns into a Catwoman.
Yeah.
But she washes up on shore, realizes, like, she's got this weird thing now, and when she crosses paths with Bruce, the two of them kind of, like, find each other.
Yeah.
And with her, he's able to keep the hunger at bay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they've got a good thing going.
It's like, because he eventually goes up with his occult friend again.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, so let's say you got bit by a vampire.
Hypothetically.
What could change it back to maybe being a regular dude? And they're like, a love of a woman. And he's like, is that true? I don't know. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
But it ends up being true, because he finds, like, the embrace of Catwoman, and, like, he doesn't have the hunger anymore. He feels fine.
No, they just get in bed and fuck all day long,
The only
then
thing I
go
find,
out at night.
The only thing I find unnerving is that Catwoman wakes up in the morning fully nude, and Batman is still in his boots and cowl.
He never takes it off.
Like, what an asshole.
I love
Just
that.
laying in bed with his boots still on. You sicko.
So Batman's like, okay, I've got a chance.
Mm.
And then as they're going out on the prowl, whittling down the vampire population,
Yeah.
Joker crossbows her.
Yep.
Or crossbows Batman, and she takes the bullet
Yeah.
and dies in his arms.
Yes.
Batman, not happy.
No, he is not.
So he essentially grabs Joker, smacks him across the face, breaking his neck,
Yeah.
and then drinks his blood.
Yeah.
Out of just vengeance-fueled
Pure
rage.
hatred. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck.
What have I
did it.
done? I immediately regret this decision.
Not only did I break my one rule, I drank his blood, man.
Yeah. And now because they make a note to say that because he's never drank the blood of an innocent or something like that, like he's still pure of heart.
Yeah, he has his soul.
Yeah, so like crosses, like any holy relics don't hurt him.
Right.
Until he kills Joker and drinks his blood.
And not only that, he has like the madness from Joker.
Yeah.
They say like something's wrong with Joker's blood.
Yeah.
It not only is he like a bloodthirsty demon now, but he has like a touch of Joker's insanity.
Yeah, just a bit.
Which I like. Like it's not scientifically explained. It's just like of all the people,
right,
you pick the Joker.
Right.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's no longer able to keep the bloodlust at bay now.
Right.
He's a demon of the night.
Yep.
And his soul is damned.
Yes.
So he's pretty much fucked.
Yeah, because I also like that a lot when he finally does indulge and drinks the Joker's blood. He's in a church with all those crosses, and then he's like, fuck. Yeah. He's like trying to get out there as fast as he can while he's burning.
Were these here when I got in? Wow. How did I miss those?
Yeah.
So at this point, he enlists the help of Alfred and Gordon to stake him and be done.
Yes.
He's like, I'm beyond hope, beyond salvation.
Yeah.
You gotta put a piece of wood in me and end this.
You gotta stake me, bro.
And Alfred's like, no, Master Bruce, I cannot.
Yeah.
But he does.
Yeah, he does.
He fulfills his request. They stake him, and that's it. That's the end.
That's right. That's the end of part 2.
And that was the end of the series for a while.
Yeah.
And then their fans were clamoring. DC contracted him for another.
Yep.
So they bring him back.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
I thought you were just reading notes. Ready.
I'm making sure that I haven't missed anything. In book 3, The Crimson Mist. And this one strikes me as like the slasher. This one, it brings all of Batman's rogues gallery in.
Yep.
Batman has been dead, out of commission for a while, and all these freaks are starting to take over Gotham City. So people like Scarecrow, Two-Face, Croc, Penguin, Mad Hatter, they're all like, seeping through the cracks.
Yes.
And Alfred's like, what do we do? We had this guy here that could stop these.
Right.
Can we bring Batman back? Gordon, what do you think?
Yeah.
He pulls the stake out, and immediately Batman's like, you idiot! You know I can't stop myself!
I'm so hungry!
Yes.
I will suck you so hard!
I will suck you dry, Alfred! You had one thing to do. So he immediately bursts out of the tomb and just goes to work.
Oh, yeah. He cuts a swath through Gotham, knocking everyone out with no issue.
There's one moment where he goes into Arkham, and he seeps through the bars of the cells as the Crimson Mist. And they even say, like, that night was the night of the Crimson Mist. And these are bloody books, too.
Yeah.
Very gory.
Yeah.
It's just adult subject matter. Batman and vampires, like, you gotta.
This one, I feel, is like... I felt like it was maybe a little rushed. Even in Kelly Jones's art. And I don't know, maybe his style changed throughout the years, because it was, like, almost 10 years since he started that first one. But there were a few panels I'm like, oh, I don't keep flipping through to the first one. Like, look at how good this started. And then some of them, like, I don't know, it felt like he just rushed through the page.
Yeah.
And, like, there's even a screenshot I sent you. I'm like, what is happening here?
So Batman is very different in this book. He's ravenous, he's bloodthirsty, he's evil.
He's a full-on monster in this, at this point.
Yep. And he still has a little spark of his heart left.
Yeah.
Where he knows that, like, I'm killing bad guys now. Eventually, I will get to the point where I have to turn on innocence. Like, I'm only killing murderers, but after that, I'm going to go to, like, thieves, and then I'm going to go to, like, jaywalkers, and then nobody's safe.
And I'm going through people pretty quick, so you need to do something here.
I am real thirsty. So he pretty much forces Gordon and Alfred to team up with Two-Face to devise a plan to stop Batman. They lure him down to, I think, the caves, right? The demolished Bat Cave from the first one. Yeah. And they're hoping to just kind of, like, bring him down there, blow it up, and let him get hit with the sunlight, which will kill him. Yeah. And Batman has this kind of on-again, off-again relationship where he's okay or not okay with that. Like, part of him's like, yeah, you gotta do it. And then the other half's like, fuck you, I'm thirsty!
Yeah. And this issue, also, he goes to see his occult, like,
Of course, I was
person
hoping
again.
she would pop up in it. It's towards the end. I'm like, where's Angela Lansbury?
Yeah, and he shows up, and I can't remember the question he asked her, because I kept finding it so weird that she doesn't even mention that he looks awful. she would be the person.
Have you been getting enough sun, Batman?
She would be the person to say something, and she's just like, yeah, whatever, get the fuck out of here.
There's an interesting part right at the beginning where once he gets a stake removed, he's talking about the like purgatory he was trapped in.
Yeah.
Where it's just this like black void where he's fully conscious and aware, but he has no idea how much time has passed. It's just this horrible hell that he's stuck in because they didn't cut his head off, I think.
Yeah.
So he's just stuck, like, frozen, basically, in a void. And that was really chilling to me. I was like, that is horrifying, you know? I also like the appearance of all the classic Batman villains that he just makes just chowder out of. Ends up, like, making a kite tail full of dismembered heads that he flies around Gotham because he can turn into, like, a bat monster.
Yeah.
And then he sticks them on the gate of Arkham, right?
Yeah.
Or is it Blackgate Prison?
One or the other, I don't
One
remember.
of them, he, like, impales all these heads as a warning to the people inside, like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, you better fucking enjoy your 3 free meals a day, buddy.
Yeah. And then it ends with the showdown in the Batcave, as we talked on. Lots of double crosses. Well, it's Two-Face involved. He's got to make use of that.
Yeah. Double crossbows. Very good for Two-Face.
Yeah. It struck me as strange that both in this and in the very first one, when they suit up to go on their vampire killing, they wear like these bright purple jumpsuits. That is a very 90s look. So they all go out in matching team colors. Right. Batman appears.
Yes.
Through this whole thing, it seems like he knows what they're doing, and he's just like, should I stop them, or should I see how this pans out?
Because at one point, they're talking their plan over, and then if it was like the camera just panned up, Batman is just up there like, what are you saying? What do you got going on down there?
You think that's going to work? It might. I don't know. Do I want to die? I don't know. A little thirsty. I could drink. Batman is speared with a crossbow.
Yeah. But it doesn't hit his heart.
No, it just wings him.
Yeah.
And then Two-Face and Croc turn on Gordon and Alfred. And Alfred is like, our only hope is Batman. So,
yeah.
All right, Alfred, pump the brakes. Let's make sure we're not making the same mistake here again.
Yeah.
But Alfred goes down and offers his blood up to Master Bruce.
Right.
One final time.
Right.
Gets him back in the game. Batman goes off, kills Croc and Two-Face. Gives him double crossbows through the face, which is great. And then it comes down to Gordon and Batman. Yeah. And Gordon's like, I gotta do it. He detonates the bomb. The place caves in. Gordon is just unceremoniously crushed by a rock.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this too, because when I totally forgot this, but when it gets to the end, like, not only did Alfred sacrifice himself so Batman could have the strength to fend off all these people, but, like, Batman also tears off his head.
Yes.
And I'm like, Jesus. Like, I know that's so he doesn't turn into a vampire himself, but it just seemed a little harsh.
Yeah. Poor taste.
Yeah.
This man wiped your butt, Bruce.
And because, like, you just see his decapitated head, you might as well just drew the X's in his eyes. And, like, his head just laying on the ground. Batman's all up to Super Saiyan strength now.
Yep.
And goes up to kill everybody else. Yeah, and then Gordon's like, boop! Blows up the whole thing, and he's like, all right, I'm out of here, Bruce. It's like crushed by a boulder.
It is just like, it's so mean-spirited that Gordon just gets smashed.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other, he couldn't have been, like, wounded, and, like, he just crawls off and dies. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like a Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, just like the Monty Python foot.
Yeah.
Just stomp the shit out of him.
Yep. And it all comes crumbling down. But it doesn't quite go how they want because the whole ceiling doesn't come down. There's just rays of light. And Batman, in like a moment of clarity, steps into the light and disintegrates. He has a great line where he says he's welcoming the unknown fate of nothingness, which I love. It kind of reflects back to him being in that perpetual purgatory where he was staked. It's like, oh, it's a good final line.
Real good.
Yep.
Overall, I really enjoyed the series, if you couldn't tell already. But, like, I've read this probably 4 or 5 times, like the whole way through. I really enjoyed it. Super fun. It like totally. If I'm getting sick of like just the month to month like regular superhero yawn, then I'm just like, I need something else. I'll read this. I'll be like, I'm fully re-energized.
Oh
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is so good.
Yeah.
It's such a breath of fresh air.
It really is.
Yep, and the artwork, as we've said, is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Kelly Jones thinks a rib cage is like down here where your abdomen is.
It's totally fine because like it's just an exaggeration of like an emotion, you know?
Yeah.
It makes it that much more like dynamic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first saw this, it made me fall in love with the long and pointy Batman.
Yes.
And like that was my favorite for a while. Until I found like a happy medium between the short ears, long ears type of situation, but
no wonder he has a convertible. There's no way those ears were going in that car.
Not a chance.
No, he looks spooky. Even before he becomes vampiric, which is great because that's what Batman's all about: striking fear.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yep.
It's a very, very good Elseworld. I would say the best Elseworlds Batman book.
Okay. I'm not finding any going in my head right now that I can contradict you with. But yeah, I would probably agree with you. I enjoyed this one a lot.
So fun.
Yeah.
And the perfect recommendation for the spookiest season of the year.
That's right.
So if you haven't read Batman Vampire, do yourself a favor and pick it up.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
It is definitely a blast.
Yep. And a great addition to Bat Year.
Very much so. So let us know down below if you have read it or not. If not, bribe me into making you read it by sending me money to buy you the book.
Yes.
But until next time, where we get into more Batman spookiness.
That's right.
I've been Troy to the Max Extreme.
And I've been Ghost Hunter Dave.
And this has been a spooky edition of Imperius Rex. We'll see you next time.
Ghost Hunter Day. It's perfect.
You just put that together.